Hi guys, we love and miss you.
Good job, baby. Hey guys, Andy and Grace here. Just wanted to check in and try to share some encouragement and play a song for Worship Wednesday. So last week, Chase shared out of Luke chapter 8, talking about Jesus calming the storm, and that's kind of the same. Okay, go ride your bike. Be safe. That's kind of the same theme I wanted to stick on. Jesus is right there in the middle of the storm. He's right there in the middle of the battle. He's right there in the middle of the fire. He is right there with us. So I wanted to read out of Daniel chapter 3. And for those who haven't read this before, I recommend reading it. It's awesome. I've always been intrigued by this chapter. Just to kind of paraphrase, I'm not going to read the whole chapter. King Nebuchadnezzar, he made a decree, an order, a law to when at a certain time, when you hear the music playing, you are to bow down and worship these golden gods that he had created. And basically anyone who didn't comply with this decree, with this order, they'd be thrown into a fiery furnace, thrown into the fire. And so there's three guys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They serve God and God only. And so, of course, they're not going to comply with this and bow down to his golden gods. And Nebuchadnezzar gets wind of this, and obviously he was furious. So he has them brought to him, and he says, starting in chapter 3, verse 15, says, "But if you do not worship it, you will be thrown immediately into a blazing furnace. Then what God will be able to rescue you from my hand?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter." Verse 17, "If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand." Verse 18, "But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." So King Nebuchadnezzar is furious with them, and he orders his soldiers to come in and to bind them and tie them up, and he orders that the furnace is heated up 7 times hotter than usual. So verse 21, "So these men, wearing their robes, trousers, turbans, and other clothes, were bound and thrown into the blazing furnace. The king's command was so urgent and the furnace was so hot that the flames of the fire killed the soldiers who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, firmly tied, fell into the blazing furnace." So this thing is going. It's so hot that it burns up the soldiers throwing them in. And here's where it gets good. Verse 24, "Then King Nebuchadnezzar leaped to his feet in amazement and asked his advisors, 'Weren't there 3 men we tied up and thrown into the fire?' They replied, 'Certainly, your majesty.' 25, he said, 'Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like the Son of God.'" How amazing is that? They were thrown into the fire, and he is right there with them. He's right there in the fire with us. He's right there in the storm. He's right there in the battle. So, for what's going on, this crazy time right now, this pandemic, this quarantine, stay-at-home order, he is right there in the middle of the fire with us. And, fill in the blank what that fire could be for you. The stay-at-home order, or you may not be able to go to work during this time, or you might be working but in very hostile environment, like the people on the front lines. very dangerous and nerve-wracking. So be blessed knowing He is right there in the middle of the fire with us. This pandemic, this craziness going on, this is not of God. But you better believe He is going to use this for His glory. He is moving in this. You can see it with everyone helping different people, just the outpouring of love during this time. He is moving. In Joshua 1:9 it says, "Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Wherever. In the middle of the fire, in the middle of the storm, in the middle of the battle, He is right there. So be encouraged that He promises that He will never leave us, He will never forsake us. I'm sorry, baby. So that's what I want to sing about. I want to sing Another in the Fire. It's by Hillsong United, and it talks exactly about that. He's right there in the fire with us. He's in the battle. So let's sing and worship. Let's sing. Larry the Cucumber, VeggieTales. Okay, I'm gonna sing, okay? There's a grace when the heart is under fire. Another way when the walls are closing in. When I look at the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. There's another in the fire, standing next to me. There's another in the waters, holding back the seas. Should I ever need reminding of how I've been set free? There's a cross that bears a burden, where another died for me. There's another in the fire. My dead left for dead beneath the waters. I'm no longer a slave to my sin anymore. Should I fall in the space between what remains of me and this reckoning? Either way, I won't bow to the things of this world. And I know I will never be alone. There's another in the fire, standing next to me. There's another in the waters, holding back the seas. Should I ever need reminding what power set me free? There's a grave that holds nobody, and that power lives in me. There's another in the fire. I can see the light in the darkness as the darkness bows to Him. I can hear the roar in the heavens as the space between wears thin. I can feel the ground shake beneath us as the prison walls cave in. Nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between us. But the name that is Jesus, He who was and still is and will be through it all. Come what may in the space between between all the things unseen in this reckoning. I know I will never be alone. I know I will never be alone. There's another in the fire, standing next to me. There's another in the waters, holding back the seas. Should I ever need reminded how good you've been to me, count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. There's another in the fire. He is right there in the middle of the fire with us, church. So be encouraged. Dig deep into the Word, and just pray for your brothers and sisters. Join us at 2:17 every day. We're praying as a church, and you can feel Him moving in this. So set your alarms, 2:17, and join us. Pray with us. So we love you. We miss you guys, but most importantly, God loves you. Be blessed.